Hey everyone! So today we're going to talk about something called English conditionals. And I know, that sounds like a super boring grammar topic, but trust me, it's not. Think of these if sentences less like rules and more like keys. Keys that can unlock totally different worlds. A world of facts, a world of possibilities, and even worlds that only exist in our imagination. So let's get into it. First things first, just a quick question for you. What would you do if you won the lottery? Seriously, think about it. Would you buy a house, quit your job, travel the world? Whatever you just answered, you used a conditional. You see, you're already using this stuff to explore a world that isn't quite real, well, not yet anyway. To make this whole thing super simple, we're just going to split all conditionals into two camps. That's it, just two. On one side, you've got the real world. This is for facts and things that are probably going to happen. And on the other side, you've got the unreal world. This is where your imagination gets to play. Daydreams, what ifs, all that good stuff. This is basically our roadmap for the next few minutes. And so we don't get lost on this little journey. We're going to stick with one simple phrase as our guide, our anchor sentence. We're just going to watch how this one little idea, if you sit in the sun, totally changes its meaning as we hop from one world to the next. Okay, let's begin our trip in the real world. This is home base for the zero and the first conditionals. And all that means is we're talking about things that are either straight up facts or are very, very likely to happen. First stop is the zero conditional. This is for stuff that is just 100% true every single time, no exceptions. Think of it like a law of nature, a scientific fact, or maybe just a habit you have that never changes. If one thing happens, the other thing is guaranteed to follow. And the grammar for this is about as simple as it gets. It's just if plus present simple and then another present simple. So with our anchor sentence, it becomes, if you sit in the sun, you get burnt. See, that's not a prediction, it's not a warning, it's just a fact. Like saying, if you heat water, it boils. It's a general truth. Now, let's take just one tiny step away from that universal fact. We're heading into the first conditional. We are still firmly in the real world here, but now we're talking about a specific situation in the future and what will probably happen because of it. So the structure changes just a little bit. We keep the if plus present simple part, but now the result uses will. So if you sit in the sun this afternoon, you will get burned. Did you catch that shift? It's not a general fact anymore. It's a specific warning about something that's very likely to happen later today. So here's the easiest way to tell them apart. Think of the zero conditional as a science teacher stating a fact for everyone. But the first conditional, that's your friend leaning over and giving you a specific piece of advice for right now. One's a general truth, the other is a likely personal future. All right, you might want to buckle up for this next part. We are officially leaving the real world behind and jumping headfirst into the unreal. This is the playground for the second and third conditionals. We're talking imagination, what ifs, and even alternate realities. The second conditional is basically our daydreaming tool. We use it to talk about something in the present or future that is, well, it's just not true right now. It's totally hypothetical. This is how you ask those what if questions or how you give advice by imagining yourself in someone else's situation. Now, how do we signal that we're in this imaginary world? This is the cool part. We use the past tense to talk about the present. I know, it's weird, but it's like a secret code. So, if plus past simple, and the result is would plus verb. If I sat in the sun right now, I would get burnt. That word sat is our signal that this isn't real. I'm probably inside right now. It's also where you get that famous phrase, if I were you. And now, let's fire up the time machine. The third conditional lets us look back into the past and imagine a different history. And because you can't actually change the past, these situations are totally, completely impossible. This is the language of regret, of hindsight, of thinking if only. And just look at how the grammar shows us we're deep in the past. The whole structure is about things that are over and done with. If plus past perfect, and the result is would have plus past participle. If I had sat in the sun yesterday, I would have gotten burnt. The reality? I didn't do it, so it didn't happen. We're literally exploring a past that never existed. So we've been to the real world and we've been to the unreal world. But what happens if you smash them together? Well, this is where things get really interesting because English lets you mix and match these ideas. Mixed conditionals do exactly what they sound like. They let you take an unreal situation from the past and connect it to an unreal result in the present. It's the perfect way to show how a different decision back then would change your reality right now. Just think of it like playing with Legos. You snap off the first half of a third conditional sentence, the part about the imaginary past, and then you click on the second half of a second conditional sentence, the part about the imaginary present. You just build a new sentence. And here's our anchor sentence in its final, most complex form. If I had sat in the sun yesterday, that's our imaginary past taken straight from the third conditional. I would be burnt now, and that's our imaginary present taken right from the second conditional. It creates this perfect bridge between a past action and a present consequence. Phew, okay. We have traveled through all the different worlds of if. So let's zoom out and put everything we've learned together on a single map so you can see the full picture. And there you have it. This is your ultimate cheat sheet. You can see the whole journey right here. We start with 0 for real-world facts, then first for real-world possibilities, then we jump to the unreal with second for imaginary present situations, then deeper into the unreal with third for imaginary pasts, and finally mixed, which connects that imaginary past to the imaginary present. Everything we just talked about, all in one place. So, I'll leave you with one last question to think about, using the grammar we just mastered. If you could have changed one decision in your past, what would it be, and how would your life be different now? Something to chew on. Thanks so much for watching.